Hi and welcome to the series of Founders Thoughts, where I speak to some of the best innovators, minds and disruptors in the fintech industry. And today I'm delighted to be joined by James White from Lendable. Hi James.
Hi there.
Thanks so much for joining us today. I'm excited to speak with you actually because you're slightly further along in the journey as opposed to a fintech startup, certainly well into the scale up phase. And I know that Lendable was established in 2014 by Martin Kissinger, and at the time the mission was to bring personal finance into the digital age, and I certainly think you've achieved that. And I'd love to start with jumping straight in for an elevator pitch. I know I'm very familiar with the Lendable brand, and it's a well-established one, but it'd be great if you could just start with an overview and summary of the business.
Yeah, sure. So I think probably the first thing to say is, as you said, we started off as a personal loans business, and we're very much building out, following the success in personal loans into most recently cards where we work with yourselves, but also we've very recently launched an auto finance business as well. And we're also evaluating opportunities as we speak to expand into the US. I think in terms of if you wanted the elevator pitch for what makes Lendable great, I think it's two things really. It's a constant desire for wanting to do things better for our customers. And we approach that in two ways. One, we have a really strong tech team. So we are constantly looking to solve customers' problems and attack them in a slightly different way to maybe some of the traditional organizations. We have a really super high engaged and highly skilled customer operations team who really provide our customers with great service on a day-to-day basis. And then finally, I just did say two, but I probably should have said three. We really put data at the heart of our business.
Thanks, James. And I think for such a long time, lending was exclusive to those customers who had a good credit rating, and for those that didn't, they were left with expensive options such as payday lenders, for example. And how has Lendable used data and initiatives like open banking to make lending more inclusive and to make rates fair for everyone?
Yeah, so I think for all of our products, we have pricing for risk, which I'm not going to sit here and say is completely new and Lendable created it. Although I think we've taken it to another level. I think firstly, in terms of using traditional data sources, we apply much more advanced decision science approaches to the building of our credit models than the traditional lenders. What that enables us to do is to actually identify pockets of customers where actually they might not be eligible for a loan with one of the traditional providers, but actually their credit risk is very similar. It's just their history is not quite so formulaic, doesn't fit the traditional algorithm. And then alongside that, we've, as you talked around, kind of started to bolster our data set and bring more data in. So open banking has definitely been a really important element of our business in terms of not just the data that's there, but the willingness of the customer to provide that data already gives you some information about them, and it obviously gives you some great information from a fraud perspective as well. But you get a whole new added layer of richness of data that we utilize in our decision. And I think this kind of comes back to one of the key tenets for us as a business is we stay nimble. We're able to adapt because we've got a great tech team. We're able to bring in new data. We're able to evaluate the use of that data. We're able to turn that to bring it in and use it in our decisions much quicker than most people would be able to. And I think through the COVID pandemic that we were able to react much quicker than a lot of people. And I believe that's been a kind of a reason why we've continued to be successful during the last 12 to 18 months period of disruption.
And moving on to the Lendable Level card now, how do you see that product being able to deliver even greater personalisation for the borrower?
I think with Level, what we're really going after is kind of we're building on the success that we'd had in personal
Yeah,
loans, but looking to build a product that gives ongoing utility to our
yeah,
customers and build a customer relationship with them as a
yeah,
result. So a personal loan is a little bit of a one-off
mm,
transaction from most customers'
yeah,
perspectives. If most of our customers will receive their money very quickly, feel very good about Lendable at that point, they'll make their payments on a monthly
yeah,
basis, and that they'll reach the end of their loan, and that's kind
yeah,
of it.
yeah,
And their ongoing relationship with Lendable is very limited
mm,
because it was a smooth process. And if you
yes,
said, "What do you
true.
think about Lendable?" they'd say, "Oh,
Yeah,
well, it delivered what I
yeah,
wanted." But when I next want a loan, do I necessarily think of Lendable? Well, I might do, but I'm probably just going to have a think about what the best
yeah,
price
yeah,
is, and might not come back straight to Lendable to check what they can
yeah,
give me.
yeah,
Whereas actually, the Level product enables us to build this ongoing
mm,
relationship with a consumer. They download our app as part of their onboarding
yeah,
journey, and that gives us a great opportunity to constantly engage with them. So we see that our customers are logging into that super
yeah,
frequently. 1 in 4 of our customers is logging into the app on a daily basis. And that gives us a great opportunity to build a deeper customer
yeah,
relationship. And we see that as the way that as a business we can start to change the way that we interact with our customers as well.
yeah. No, that makes complete sense. What are the things that keep you awake at night, and what are the things that you're most excited about?
Um, I guess the things that keep me awake at night are kind of like standard banking, people who have a large portfolio of
Yeah,
customers using their product on a day-to-day basis. Probably fairly similar to most of those really in terms of kind of actually. I think this is the thing when I joined Lendable, I was talking to Martin about kind of the differences between cards and
yeah,
loans. The big difference is actually the card product is something that people are using every hour of the day.
yeah,
They're reliant on it for doing something. It might be their only means of payment to get home of an evening, etc. So actually, you've got a much deeper obligation to the
mm,
customer than when you're kind of just dispersing
yeah.
some
That's
money
very true.
and 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 you're
Yeah,
done. So what keeps me up at night is the boring stuff, which everyone would say in terms of kind of systems falling
yeah, yeah,
over, and customers not being able to transact.
yeah,
That's what. Obviously, we've got a lot of controls in place,
yeah. Of
and and
course.
and, we're and we monitor
Yeah.
things, and it's not actually something that I'm really, really, really worried about. But you're always concerned that something's going to happen catastrophic.
What are you most excited about for the future for Lendable?
I think probably it's back to something that I've been talking about a little bit in terms of when we talked about Level, is
Yeah,
actually us starting to become the place where customers come to for their
yeah,
lending. We've got a deeper relationship with our
yeah,
customers. We become a much less transactional business, which is around optimizing the price on a one-off
yeah,
transaction. We actually become the business that you interact with for your personal
yeah,
finances, and we become much more central to customers' lives, which I think is really exciting for us, both from a business perspective, but also in terms of building our brand and just becoming much more known.
Okay, great, thank you. And I just want to finish off with one last question, which is, what has been your best day in the business so far, James?
Ooh, well, that's a good question. I think it was probably the day that we had confidence to say to one of our aggregator partners that we wanted to do kind of a big announcement
Yeah,
that Level was here and it was there for their customers. Because kind of obviously associated with launch, you have a lot of concerns
yes,
around how are things going to
yeah,
go, and is the product going to work, and undoubtedly you always have your teething
yeah,
issues. But the day that we reached the point where we said, actually, this thing's feeling pretty good, we're ready to kind of
great.
have our partner send out a mass marketing email saying
Mm,
Levels here for you, this new product, and we booked a significant number of customers over the next couple of
yeah,
days. Getting to the point where we were confident to do that was really
yeah,
cool,
I can imagine.
because it's something that we'd spent I mean, we'd started the build before I joined, but it was something that even personally I'd spent a lot of time and effort getting into that
Yes.
place. So it was a really proud day to get to that
Yeah,
point.
oh, I can imagine, and it's fantastic to work with you guys. You're an amazing partner, and really excited to see how things are going to develop in terms of growth in the US and potentially other markets. So thank you so much for joining us today, James. It's been an absolute pleasure. Some really great insights and fascinating discussion, and really appreciate your time.
Okay, thanks a
Thank
lot.
you.